The Jacksonville Jaguars are almost there. The Jaguars are one of 12 NFL franchises who have not won a Super Bowl in their franchise's history. And to be frank, the Jaguars lay on a short list of teams who I think actually deserve to win a Super Bowl. For nostalgic purposes, let's give a special thanks to the Jacksonville teams who made it to the coveted AFC Championship. This includes the teams of 1996, 1998, and that electric 2017 Jacksonville team with stars such as Calais Campbell, Jalen Ramsey, Leonard Fournette, and dare I add Blake Bortles. Okay, maybe that's a bit far, but you get the point. This is a team who has smelled the best dish in the kitchen, but for one reason or another haven't gotten their hands on a hot plate. Ever since that great showcase in 2017, the Jacksonville Jaguars have been scrambling to really find a formula that will launch them into yet another AFC championship. Jaguars fans, you might want to close your eyes for this one, but the years of 2018 through 2021 were flat out terrifying. During this time span, the Jaguars hosted a record of 15 wins to a whopping 50 losses. It even got to a point where people joked by saying the Jaguars don't even have a fan base. But I mean, some of the best players fielded on those offenses consisted of D.D. Westbrook and Keenan Cole. These two guys were good players in their own right, but not top tier featured weapons. The scariest part of the process has been the management. If you think Shaq and Kobe were a dominantly good duo, think of Doug Marrone and David Caldwell in that same magnitude, but just as bad. And at least it brought us Minshew Mania. It kind of led to Trevor Lawrence in a sense. But typically the plan is if you find yourself picking high in the draft, you're hunting major impact players. And it's safe to say that since the AFC Championship, picks other than Josh Allen haven't been of that nature. First round picks Taven Bryant, Kayvon Chason, CJ Henderson have not given you what you wanted. So if you remained a stand-up believer of this team during this time, I must say, bless your heart. Now let's turn this up a bit because this ain't a sad story. For psychological purposes, let's throw away that campaign with Urban Meyer. Doug Peterson steps in and he's a head coach with a very respectable resume, not to mention he's done it at the highest level, winning a Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles. So after years of trying to get it right, I think the Jaguars finally have what it takes. The first component of being a championship team is winning your division, which they checked off the list last season. Also, they checked off the list of winning a playoff game. How many young teams can say that they've done that? Now, I think it's fair to say that the Texans and Colts are in rebuild mode, while the Titans should be respected, but as we currently sit here, the future doesn't look that bright in Tennessee. With that being said, it's safe to say that this is currently our division until proven different. Now, when we go big boy hunting outside of that division, the question is how can we stack up with the AFC's finest? I'm talking about a Mahomes, Burrow, Allen. To begin, there's obviously Trevor Lawrence, but when I look at a championship team, there's a couple things I look for, which the Jaguars have. They have the head coach, which you need to win at the highest level. They have anchors at key position. I'm talking about guys like ETN, Christian Kirk, Calvin Ridley coming back. And they got Brandon Sheriff holding it down in the trenches. Also, we can't forget about Cam Robinson's return. Defensively, there's only three names that I think of when I think Jacksonville. That's Devin Lloyd, Josh Allen, and Tyson Campbell. Aiden Hutchinson might have stole the show last season, but we also have to remember that Travon Walker was drafted more so for what he'll be in the future, not just year one. And even with that being said, I think he was still pretty solid in year one based on what they asked him to do. Now, the draft is coming here faster than any of us can prepare for, so for a team who's almost there, I want to end with a bit of optimism for the missing pieces that'll put this puzzle all together. There are many ways you can take this draft, and I mean many, but I think if you can get your hands on Brian Branch with that first round pick, we talking money time. And I mean seriously. Outside of that nickel corner, I think of positions like left guard, potentially tackle, although I like Walker Little, so it would be geared toward depth since Jawan Taylor is out of the door, and some more depth or impact players on the defensive line, both inside and out. And you know what time it is, so let's do it. Duval! Jacksonville Jaguars fans, it's time to buckle up because this is about to be a heck of a ride.